You have to have a story. Everybody loves a story, and it's funny. We let me tell you how we came up with the name first. So we're on a distillery tour. Every good story should start with a drunken distillery tour.
What's up, guys, and welcome to Drinks on Me, the show for the hospitality industry by the hospitality industry. And today's guest is Chris Worsnop from the Gin Dispensary and Port Phillip Distillery. Thanks for being here, man.
My absolute pleasure.
Oh, it's good. You know, serving you for a few years, and you know, coming into the venue, the Gin Dispensary myself. You guys make some banging cocktails.
Thanks, man.
I really actually look up to and am inspired by your craft down there.
Way too kind. Thank you.
No, seriously. So when you go have a drink, firstly, where might you be going, or what might you be drinking?
I've hung out here quite a few times, I must admit. This is quite a regular haunt for us because we're local. We're not too far. Just anywhere that's a great cocktail bar or a great distillery or just something that's a little bit different. We seek out something that's a little bit different, not the norm. So yeah, and if you can mix that with some great food like you guys do, then even better.
Yeah, greasy food does wonders.
Yeah.
Does wonders. So today we're going to be making you a mango and strawberry gin fizz,
right? Using
none other than your beautiful Hell's Bells new product, the batch 11 of the Hell's Bells. So I'm keen to try that out as well.
Yep.
Yeah, so pause the video, guys, get comfortable, grab yourself a drink, and get ready for the show. Beauty. You've got your drinks, guys, it's time to make the cocktail. So we're both grabbing a shaker here. Here you go, my man.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so I'll be running you through, I'll be starting it off. Yeah, roll those sleeves up, you businessman. So if you go over there, there's a long, you can grab that big jigger. So we've got 60 mils at the top in the big one. Yep. 30 mils in the bottom. Yep. So when I say 30, 60, got it. You're gonna accommodate. Yep, that's it. Okay, I'll join you. I'm a guy that starts with it both in the same tin. I respect the side though. Do you pour it into here or do you pour it into there?
Into the larger one, generally.
The larger one, respect.
Well, so, when I say we, my staff pour into the larger one generally. I sit normally on the other side going, I'd like a cocktail. Yeah. It's a tough life.
Yeah, well, welcome to the other side of the bar, mate. Welcome to reality. So we're going to start with 60 mils of the mango nectar, all right? I'll start by pouring some off. It's actually going to be 90, excuse me. 90. I've decided last second, I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to make it more mango-y.
Why not? I love mango in a drink. I always love it.
Tropical getaways, you know, going overseas, you know, and coming into these warmer months in Melbourne at least, it's really taken us to that tropical season. So I thought it was great to do this and initiate like a tropical cocktail for you.
Yeah, we're the same at the bar. We're changing our cocktails right now. We're changing on to more summery drinks. You've got to change with the seasons. People want seasonal change in their drinks, so why not?
And your cocktail list is actually like the most extensive cocktail list I've probably ever come across, especially down our way in southeast Melbourne. You know, you might see 10 to 15, but you've got like what, 25 to 30 different cocktails on your list at a time.
And we'll also make, if somebody comes in and they want something that's not on our list, providing we have the ingredients, we'll make it anyway. So, and we get that, and we get people coming in to challenge us on cocktails, and people love it. They want to try something new. And we also have a 100% guarantee on our drinks. So if you taste it and you go, no, it's not for me, we'll swap it out for free as well.
Jesus, try before you buy.
Mate.
It's a deal and a half. I've never heard of that. That's a good ass deal. Anyway,
it's like Bunnings, but without the sausage sizzle.
Second ingredient is going to be the lime juice. Is 30 mils of that.
Fabulous. And this is just straightforward lime juice?
Put half of that in. Yeah, that's it. Pour the rest in here, my man. Well, yep, so that is just freshly squeezed lime juice. Okay. Yeah, I've just pre-batched that earlier for us. Our third ingredient is going to be the strawberry. So we've got 15 mils of that. If you want to use your small end, use the short end. And there's that line right halfway. Yep. Beautiful. This is just Monin strawberry phrase, you know, it's just really basic stuff. It works well. I like the Monin, you know, getting the like the fake flavors in. Yeah. It actually works really well.
Yeah, it's
like,
good.
You know, it's a powerful tool in the industry for the cocktails. Next ingredient is 2 dashes of bitters. So just 1, 2, a couple dashes to give it a good flavour there. I don't know why I closed it for you, making your life difficult.
It's fine.
And now,
the key ingredients.
The key ingredient is the Hell's Bells London Dry Gin by none other than yourself. So we've got 60 mils of this in here as well. So one big one to the top. Bang. There you go, good sir.
Thank you very much.
I'll get the glasses ready. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. One scoop of ice. Now do I need to teach you how to put a tin in? Of course not. Beautiful. Hey, this is good. First episode I've had to like not teach someone how to make a cocktail. I'll take it.
Getting it out might be a different thing.
There we go. I'm doing this 6 days a week, so that's, you don't need to worry about that. All right, cool. So if we come over here.
Yep.
Come over here, grab one of these.
Yep.
Hawthorn. Bring it here.
Thanks.
Make it easy. And then just a single.
Nice colour.
Yeah, it's an interesting colour, almost like a grapefruit.
Yeah.
Almost like a grapefruit colour. Few cubes of ice.
Thank you.
Boom.
Then what garnish are we going with?
So we're going with a mint and a pineapple. I've half dehydrated some pineapple, so it's still got that like sweet pineapple flavour. It's not too dry. So we'll put a bit of that in there, shove it in, make it comfortable, nice and snug. Then a bit of mint. I like to slap my mint.
Me too.
Yeah. Oh, did you see that spray? That was nuts, man. Just went all over the place.
That smells lovely.
Mint, I was saying in the last episode, mint is my favourite flavour, is my favourite smell. Here's a straw for you as well, my man. Nice B one.
That looks beautiful.
And that
great looking
is
cocktail. Look at that.
Yeah, a mango and strawberry gin fizz using your beautiful Hell's Bells gin.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate. Let's try it.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's just like a pop.
That's lovely.
It's tropical. Like imagine you were in a tropical country right now, Bali.
I'm there, mate.
Yeah, you're there right now.
That is really nice. That's a lovely and refreshing cocktail.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yeah.
All right, well, now that we've made the cocktail, hope you got a drink again. We'll be moving over to the seats now, having a chat. So, yeah, cheers, guys. Cheers. All right. Well, it's a conversation. It's good. It's good having you here again.
Thanks,
and
mate.
I'm keen to hear about your journey through business and how you kind of entered the hospitality industry late, and how you found your passion in gin.
Late.
I mean, you did, right? You did. You never worked a day in hospital till you.
When I was 18, 19, 20, worked in a few bars, managed a couple of things, but it wasn't really my passion at the time.
Oh.
It's not on my resume.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, sort of I still have a day job, which is working in leisure centres. I work for a management company that manages leisure centres, golf courses.
All right.
And I'm a state manager here in Victoria for this company, and I run sort of 22 leisure centres and pools and golf courses.
By run them, what do you mean?
We basically run them on behalf of councils and make sure they run efficiently and safely and profitably. And that's the day job that pays the bills. And then we, Fiona, my wife, and I, we wanted to have our own business, and we just didn't know what to do. If I'm really honest with you, Tom, was sort of like trying to decide, what you want to do. And I couldn't own a Subway, or I couldn't do something really boring.
Imagine you making sandwiches.
I know. Could you imagine? Nothing would kill me more. And we just love alcohol, hospitality, distilleries and Australian spirits, and just something creative. And we kind of stumbled into it, and that's when we started the gin dispensary.
It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. And you love Australian spirits. I understand that you're from somewhere. You've lived in South Africa.
I've lived everywhere.
Everywhere?
Yeah. So I was born in the UK, and then my folks emigrated out to South Africa, and I grew up there, and then back to the UK, and then here in Australia for 15 years. Yeah.
Jeez, man.
So I like to get around.
That's so good. And I mean, it's hard to get into this industry, without much knowledge, and it's hard to even start with knowledge. But how did you kind of, fund it? You've been saving up for your whole life, and then, you just had the funds in the background, or was there like a funding funnel that you had that gave you this opportunity?
I think for us, what the reality was is we always wanted to open up a distillery with a bar and a cellar door. The problem that you have in the Bayside area, which is a great area to live, the council's really reluctant to allow licensing for distilleries and bars. Because there's associated explosion risks with distilleries, they were like, nah. I happened to mention to a friend one day, her name's Michelle, and I just sort of said to her, hey Michelle, I want to open up a bar and distillery. And she goes, well, if you have to a bar, there's a great location on Beach Road. And Beach Roads, 100,000 people a day on the bay, right looking, over the cliffs off the bay, and it was just perfect. And we looked at it, and we were in straight away, and we were very lucky to get that venue.
Okay.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And it came with a general license, so we were able to sell bottles as well as cocktails and food. And it was a failed restaurant, so that it used to be a restaurant.
It was a restaurant.
Yeah, and we didn't want to be a restaurant because. Fiona, my wife, and I, we're functioning alcoholics. We're not food people. And we're very much about the spirits and the cocktails, and we wanted to make something around that area.
Yeah.
But we'd never be able to put a distillery in there because there's apartments above us.
So where
and
is it
around
still?
us. So the bar's on Beach Road in Beaumaris,
Yep.
and then the distillery's in the Moorabbin Industrial Estate.
Yeah, cool.
And that came 2 years later. So the plan was to try and do our own spirits.
Mm-hmm.
And
what are you making? You're making gin and just gin and vodka?
Yeah, so 3 gins and 1 vodka.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So I understand that the names of the gins have a bit of a story.
They do.
Do you mind sharing that story to the viewers? Because I find that story actually really interesting.
You have to have a story. Everybody loves a story, and it's funny. We let me tell you how we came up with the name first. So we're on a distillery tour. Every good story should start with a drunken distillery tour. And we're on a bus, and we went to the Bellarine Peninsula, and they have a gin there called Teddy and the Fox.
Okay.
And the story is the guy lifted some corrugated steel up, and the fox ran out, and their dog Teddy ran after the fox.
Teddy and the Fox.
Teddy and the Fox.
Boom.
We love the story. We're on the bus going, that's a great story. And somebody...
Not that great of a story.
Yeah, I know. And somebody went, right, what would you call your gin? Think of a name, what would you call it? And my wife's name's Fiona. And somebody shouted out, Fiona's Fury. Which actually, if you've ever met my wife, is totally apt. Because, she's an incredibly strong woman. And that was the name that stuck in my head. And basically, we then sort of formed a story around the 3 gins. The first one, which we've tried today, which is in this amazing cocktail,
Hell's Bells.
Hell's Bells. It's named after my first wife. And her name was Helen. And she's from Liverpool. So the logo is red. And everybody's gin journey should start with a London Dry. When you're drinking gin, that's your Gordon's, that's your Bombay. It's where everybody starts in their gin journey. And I just thought that had a really, really good link.
Yeah.
And also, her favourite gin was a London Dry. I'm still very friends with her, by the way.
Good. So there's no bad blood.
No,
there.
not at all.
No,
and in fact,
great.
I sent her a bottle, and she loved it. And
amazing.
who wouldn't have you got a gin named after you? It's great.
Yeah, I'd love it.
The second one we wanted to make was something very different. We wanted to make a very different gin, and so we made a modern, contemporary Australian gin, and that's called Insanity, and that's named after my second partner. We don't mention her name, but Insanity is actually our biggest seller.
Wow.
It does really well.
And it's a Navy strength.
No, that's
the modern contemporary Australian.
Yeah, modern contemporary one.
Yep.
And then the last one, the Fiona's Fury.
That's
Fury.
Our
Navy strength. Yeah.
Okay.
And again, I think if you're a distiller, a lot of distillers will make a Navy strength, because Navy strength is probably the hardest to get right, because you have to be at 57% or above in order to be a Navy strength. And when you get to that sort of level of spirits and alcohol, it's difficult to get that balance, and that's really why I think our Navy strength's beautiful.
I only just found out not too long ago why it is Navy strength and why it's called Navy strength. Do you know why it's called?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, it's like because when they used to travel and they used to ship gin around with the pirates and people blowing cannons off their boats, they needed to make sure that it was at a high enough ABV so that it didn't set off, so that it didn't blow up. What was it?
So
it didn't.
So when Britain was being awesome at exploring the world, they used to take gin or rum on the ships.
Yep.
Because water would go funky really quickly. So, and what they used to do, in order to test the gin, they would take a spoon of gin and a spoon of gunpowder, mix it together, and it will only light at 57%. In fact, that's where the word proof comes from. They used to have to prove it was Navy strength. And then interestingly, they would then add tonic water, because the quinine tree, which is where tonic water comes from, that would actually help with fevers and malaria, and that would calm fevers and malaria. And then they would add lime and lemon for scurvy. So really, it's a medicinal drink.
That's
yeah. So really, I've just opened a chemist.
Yeah,
that's
you're
all
a good
I've done.
guy.
Yeah,
man.
I know.
Powerful. Do you have a PhD or something?
I should do.
You should do, mate. You do everything. I'm surprised you don't have one.
Yeah.
What else? So you've been a business leader in the recreational scene for council. Cinemas was something.
Something else. Yeah.
Something else. And
I think, when you first sort of grow up and you're finding your early career, it's trying to decide what you want to do, or actually probably what you don't want to do, I think is the big thing.
Yep.
I've done multiple things, you name it. I've been a rat catcher in my years. I've sold
rats are actually my biggest fear.
I've sold cars, you name it. I've done it all. And then I kind of fell into leisure in the UK, working for gyms and health clubs. And in fact, that's what brought me out here to Australia.
Oh, okay.
With a sort of a visa, and I left. I tried to get out of leisure for a little while. Went to work for Bunnings. That was shit.
Damn. Bunnings warehouse.
And then back into leisure, and that's just where I seem to find my niche. To be
amazing.
fair.
Amazing. How did you get into business in the first place? Did you study business as well, or did you kind of just get field experience?
Yeah, I did. I did study business, but really was hands-on in the industry. And ultimately, if you want to work your way up through jobs and want to get paid more, you've got to kind of move into management roles, and then you start to move into senior management roles, and before you know it, after a few years, you're sort of in the role that I'm in today. And it's great. I've got quite a few venues, a couple of thousand staff, working for me, and it's great to see people working through the industry and learning.
Totally.
But really, I think management's the same. You just got to be nice to people and teach and educate well, and hopefully they'll follow you and enjoy what they're doing. If you make the place enjoyable, then I think people genuinely want to work for you.
Are you seeing a shift from working completely full time doing that and doing the gin dispensary and the stilling? Are you kind of seeing that transition over?
Am I transitioning?
Yeah, are you transitioning?
Not at the moment. I'd love to say I am. The bar, the gin dispensary, is really run by my wife more than anything, and our manager Steph.
Okay.
And Steph's my sister-in-law as well, so it's family-run business.
Family-run, good.
And then because of the way the business is now, I'm generally spending more time at the distillery, which is evenings and weekends. If you really want to make something work, you just got to put the time and the effort in. Yeah.
That's it.
I'm only 24 years old, but I know I look a lot older.
You've done well, man. You've done well. I mean, if you're a 24-year-old doing all that you have, mate.
I'm not 24. So.
It's a beautiful industry to be in, and I think that it's really awesome to see. Not often someone gets into the industry so late, and I think it's really cool how you've got that story where you might have done something for so long out of the industry, and so many people get used to doing their day job, but they go out for a drink and they're like, oh fuck, I wish when I was 20 I worked in a bar so I could open one day. But you said, stuff the norms.
Yep.
I'm still going to do what I want to do. I'm still going to try. And I think that philosophy is beautiful, is like, age is just a number.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. I mean, don't get me wrong, you know, it's one of these things that, you know, Fiona and I both work 7 days a week, and it's a ridiculous amount of hours. Even after tonight, after I finish this podcast, I'm going to go home and do the payroll, and I'll be working till whatever time. But when it's your own business and something that you really love, then you just put the time and the effort in.
Totally.
And it's not work when you're enjoying it. And
That's
I mean,
it.
Jesus, I mean, what am I doing? I'm making great Australian spirits. I'm making fabulous cocktails. This is not hard work. I mean, hard work. I've done hard work in my past.
Yep.
This is not hard work.
Yeah, you should be proud.
This is enjoyable.
You know, from an outsider's point of view, it's really you know, inspiring to a young person to see that, you know, someone like yourself has been able to do it.
Thanks, man.
And that, you know, you've just jumped into the deep end after just going to a gin tour one day and doing what you've done today. It's really cool.
Remember, Tom, every good story starts with a drunken bus tour.
Well, I might have to go on more drunken bus tours, honestly. We did one last year for the work party, and I didn't remember much of that.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to do it again, and I need to be inspired.
Yeah.
Hey, man, well, that's really all I wanted to touch on, and I really appreciate you coming out. And I think you've given some good stories and, you know, giving some good impact on onto people who are coming through the industry, and, you know, sharing your story is powerful. So thanks for being on, man.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Thanks.
Guys, thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, come into Hawker to try the drink this week. We'll be open. We'll be open all week, and, you know, go check out the Gin Dispensary. They do an amazing cocktail range and an amazing gin flight with their personal gins and also vodkas. Go say hi to Chris as well. So yeah,
thanks,
cheers.
mate.
Cheers. One last
mate.
cheers, mate.